Mikey A, when you reach out to someone and ask them to come on your podcast, ask them to join you on the show, and their response is 4 p.m. in the afternoon, you know what that means, right?
What does that mean?
Golf. It means golf.
Yeah.
It means Booger McFarland was golfing all day today. That's what it means. Booger, am I wrong?
You know what? Normally you would be right because you want to make sure you get all the golf done before it gets too hot. Unfortunately for me, I wasn't golfing today. Today was a rare day. And by rare, I mean this. I actually worked out twice, had a couple of meetings, had picked the kid up. I got a freshman in high school, picked him up. And so I got home and just looking forward to talking to you guys, man.
How's the freshman in high school doing? That's tough, dropping off the kid for the first day of high school, man.
Yeah, well, it's his first year in high school, obviously, but he's been there. Like, school got started probably 10 days ago. But you know how it is. Like, when you get a freshman going into high school, you go from being the BMOC in middle school to now you go to the high school campus where you're 14 walking around with 18-year-olds. So it's a little nerve-wracking, a little scary. He's already quiet anyway, so he's probably walking around. And it's a big school. Like, these high schools in Tampa, I mean, they got 2,000 kids, so it's different, but we're adjusting. And then I got one that's a senior man. So while he's being quiet and adjusting, hey, Dad, the Mercedes needs some gas this week. And I'm like, hey, how about put your own gas in the car? How about that?
It's so funny, but at least he has Big Brother there to protect him, right?
Well, you know, the senior is a girl. And the freshman is a boy. And You've been through this because you have 2 twin girls, right?
Yes, correct. Yes.
Yes. And they should be in college now, right?
Yeah, they're both going to be seniors in college this year. Yes.
So you've been where I've been. Any advice, brother?
Any advice? Yeah, just listen, you have to come to the realization that these kids, you were Superman to them at one point. And the quicker you come to the realization that you're now an embarrassment and you are no longer Superman, then it's easy to kind of navigate through getting them into high school and getting them into college. They'll want nothing to do with you for the next 8 years, but they'll come back in spades when college is over, Booger, because they need money. I mean,
well, hey, the 17-year-old is already doing that right now, especially, I mean, she acts like Venmo is her best friend, you know?
It is.
Yeah.
Put it on the poll. Is Venmo the best friend of any 17-year-old child?
There's no question, man. But it's amazing how, like, I go back to when I was 17, man. I was out here cutting wood, mowing yards. Like, I was making $20 a yard. Now, the yards weren't big, but I was actually making cash money. Like, these kids these days, they want to go to, and it's our fault because we want to send them to the finest schools, make sure they're doing great, and make sure they have the nicest things or the nicest. And what happens is they don't get to understand that there is no money free. Like, there is no place you go just to pick out a new car. Like, these things cost money. And so I make it a point of mine and my wife's, man, hey, just so you know, this costs X and you don't have X in your pocket. So somebody has to pay for it. So what's your plan? And they just look at me like I got 4 heads.
Right. That's because they think your X is their X. That's why.
Shaq said it best years ago. I'm rich, you're not.
Yeah, but it's our fault. You're right, because we spoil them so much on the way up.
Exactly. 100%, right. Dude.
So now you're going to say no, Booger?
Well, sometimes you got to say no. I think you have to, man.
So I just figured that, you know, the 4 o'clock response. Now, you explained it, but I figured you were trying to get as many golf rounds as you could before you had to start working again. That's what I figured, you know? Well,
trust me. Here's what happens. And you've been up in the Northeast. So between now and, say, Halloween?
Yeah.
When I go up, so I don't work on Saturday mornings. I have to be in the studio Saturdays at 12. I have to meet Boomer about 1 o'clock on Sundays. So there's going to be the occasional Saturday morning at Hartford Golf Club or Sunday morning at TPC River Highlands where, you know, I'm a dew sweeper. Like, I don't mind being the first guy to tell the guy that's mowing the greens, hey, can you slide over a little bit so I can go through? So it's nothing for me to play around in 2.5 hours and be back to work. Like, I enjoy it. And it doesn't matter if I shoot 82 or 100. It doesn't matter. Like, I just enjoy getting out there, being first off, fresh greens. But more importantly, I love golf, which is why I was locked in today. Were you surprised by Keegan Bradley not picking himself today?
I couldn't believe it. I was going to ask you about that because I know how big of a golf fan you are. I was shocked that he did not pick himself only because you could justify picking Keegan Bradley this year.
Well, not only could you justify picking Keegan Bradley, I think he's actually one of the 12 best Americans, which is why I thought he should have played. Now, people will say, well, yes, but could he be one of the 12 best while having to do Ryder Cup captain responsibilities? And what I'll say is, I don't know the interworkings of the Ryder Cup, but once you fill out the pairing sheets, like maybe I can put that little thing in my ear and put the walkie-talkie on my back. Yeah, I can go hit some ball. Like, I don't know. Like, it just doesn't seem to me that there are a lot of responsibilities that I couldn't get done before or after the round of golf where he couldn't have done both. Now, with that being said, I do think that the team is very good. I think it's going to be a lot of pressure on Ben Griffin. It's going to be a lot of pressure on J.J. Spawn. I think it's going to be a lot of pressure on Colin Morikawa for different reasons. A couple of those guys are first-timers, and Morikawa, like, I think me, you, or Mikey A can putt better than he can here lately. So I think there's a lot of pressure on those guys, and Keegan could feel more pressure if those three don't perform than whether he would have played and not performed also.
Booger, I do love the idea of us losing the Ryder Cup and we start blaming Keegan Bradley for not selecting Keegan Bradley. Like, that's
I mean, if Ben Griffin is 0 for 4, like, and Sam Burns, I love Sam. Like, Sam is from Louisiana. Me and Sam are like, full disclosure, like, me and Sam are cool. Sam's got to play well. He's played well here the last month. He's got to continue to play well. But it's going to be amazing. New York, Bethpage, Ryder Cup in America. What more could you ask for?
You going?
Of course. Are you kidding me?
Really?
Come on, man.
I just figured football season, Booger.
Well, football's not played on Friday, brother.
Right. Okay. It is somewhere in college. Somewhere there's a football game.
Well, it is not for me. It won't be.
All right. So here's the deal. I want to go to the Ryder Cup. I have played Bethpage Black several times. I used to skip school, go out there all the time out in Long Island and go play that course all the time. Have you played it, by the way?
Never played it, never been to it. It's going to be a first to be in that area. Like, I've heard about that area. So any tips you have about the layout, where to go, eat, stay, just please let me know.
I got it all for you, but I'd like to invite myself to go with you. Is that okay? What do you think?
Well, yeah, that's not okay because I don't think I have a ticket for you.
I'll give you all that info. Don't worry about it. I don't need to go.
Well, I'm just saying, I just being honest with you. Like, I could lie to you, and then at the last minute be like, you know what, man, the ticket fell through, or SeatGeek didn't work or something. I'm not gonna lie to you, brother. I'm just gonna keep it real with you. I think you've had enough people in your life lying to you, so I'm not gonna do that.
I love you. I just want to listen. You can stay at my house, okay? I have a house on Long Island. It's yours, all right? I won't go with you. I won't even stay at the house. I'll stay in a hotel, Booger. You can have my house.
The subtle drop to let everyone know, even though I live in Florida, I have a house in New York.
Well, it's my parents.
Well, hey, listen, it's nothing. Either way, you have access to it.
I do. You are the greatest. Do you think Scotty Scheffler is playing at a Tiger Woods type level right now?
No. To me, it's a disgrace when that conversation comes up.
Really?
I think people, because here's what I think, Stu. Like, people don't remember what Tiger had to do and the level and the pressure that he carried. Tiger not only played to that level, he played to that level starting in 97 and in 2000 and in 2007. He did that starting in 97 when not only was he carrying golf, he was carrying being an African-American golfer. So he had that on his shoulders.
Right.
And then he went through swing changes. So every time he made a swing change, he carried the new instructor, from Butch Harmon to Hank Haney to, Chris Como to Sean Foley. Like, all these guys that he was with, he was carrying their career on his shoulders. So the amount of pressure that he had and the level that he played at for a long time was unreal. Nothing against Scotty. Scotty is great. Randy Smith. Scotty's the ultimate all-shucks guy. I think most of America relates to Scotty more than they do Tiger. Like, Scotty's balding. He's gonna come on home in a little bit. Like, his hair is gonna fall out. His golf swing is unorthodox, but he's the best ball striker in the world, and he's had the same coach since he was 6 years old. So I think America relates to Scotty more. But in order for, if you really want to know, just YouTube 2000 Tiger.
Right.
Like, anybody out there listening to this, if you really want to know why I say Scotty's not there, just YouTube any tournament in 2000 that Tiger played in, or any tournament in 2007 or 2008, and just look at what he did to these fields and look how he did it. And I don't think anybody would then say, yeah, Scotty's doing the same thing.
Booger, talking Tigers, Clemson, LSU this weekend.
What a transition, Taylor. Jesus.
I mean, tremendous transition. I mean, you probably had that one written down.
No.
It's just seamless for Booger, man. He does it all the time. I mean, that was amazing. I'm impressed, Taylor. Go ahead.
How are you feeling going into that game? And would you be down for there to be like a battle for Death Valley trophy when these two teams play?
Yeah, so the whole Death Valley thing has been going on for a long time. Like, we have Death Valley written in our stadium. I assume they have it somewhere in theirs. I've never been in that stadium. Here's what I'll say. I think in order to be the real Death Valley, I think here's the way I look at it. There's only one place that's been voted the toughest place to play in American college football. Like, there's only one place where dreams come to die, as they say. And there's only one place that brings a live mascot, a live tiger on the field. So, like, when you throw all those things in there, Warren Sapp told me this once, and it's been true. He said, never accept a carbon copy of the original. And I think the original is in Baton Rouge. I'll just leave it as that. As far as how I'm feeling, listen, I'm the worst fan, man, because I feel helpless. I remember what it's like to be 17 to 20 years old and to have thousands of people depending on your play. And I remember what it's like to be on that field. And I knew how to control it back then. And now I feel helpless because these guys now, I can't control it. I can only live through them. And, the last three coaches that have been there have all won national championships. And when LSU wins a national championship, I don't know if you noticed on national television, we got a lot of LSU guys that work for ESPN. And so we let America know when LSU's on top. And so it's always been a great feeling. It is not a good feeling because this climate of athlete is different. With NIL, transfer portal, you used to know that you could get on an LSU team or an Alabama team or a Florida team, 80% of the guys were going to be from Florida or LSU or going to be from Louisiana. This whole transfer portal thing is different, man. So these teams are different. I think we have a really good team. I think Clemson has one of the top two teams in the country. We are 3.5-point underdogs, and rightfully so. So anytime you're on the road, man, get the game to the fourth quarter. Let's make a play. Yes. Both of these coaches are well paid. Let's see which team is more prepared. And I think the more prepared team will win the game.
Booger, do you think this LSU team is national championship good?
Yes, they are.
Okay.
Are they perfect? No. Do they have much room for error? Not as much as a couple of other teams. I think the two best rosters in college football are Penn State and Clemson. I think the team with the two fewest question marks, meaning, do you have a quarterback check? You got veteran leadership check. You got superstar power check. Clemson and Penn State check all those boxes. I mean, they check them all. LSU, superstar quarterback, a ton of transfers. We're replacing 4 out of 5 offensive linemen. Can we run the football? I don't know. Our OC hasn't shown the propensity to run the ball. We'll see. But Brian Kelly is on record, and he knows his team better than I do. He said it's the best team he's had. So we'll see.
Do you think Brian Kelly should have at least won one national championship in his first 3 seasons, just based on how talented the teams were?
I think the Jaden Daniels year, we should have won a national championship because that was historic from an offensive standpoint, but our defense sucked. We couldn't stop Mikey A, Mikey C, Stugotz. We couldn't stop anybody. There was no way we could stop anyone. And so that team, I think we wasted. It's very similar to the Bengals. We were the college version of the Bengals. We had a prolific offense led by a guy that won a Heisman Trophy in college, and we could score. We could put 40 up on anybody, but we couldn't stop people. And I think that's the biggest thing that was the biggest reason I think we should have won it that year. I do think they can win one. I think the fact that they haven't won one yet gives a lot of people pause, but he's got a 10-year deal. So if you tell me over the next 3 years he's going to win a national championship, I'd probably put some of that Stugotz money on it and feel really good. Right.
Can you envision it's my daughter's money, okay? My my ex is their ex. We talked about this already, but
yeah.
You have to ask Rachel and Emma if they can put the money down. Can you envision a scenario where Brian Kelly is not the LSU head coach next season?
No, just because, and I'm just being really honest from an economic standpoint, I think the buyout is probably, I don't know, it's north of $50 million. And Louisiana is not Texas. We don't have money coming out of the ground, unlike A&M, who can pay Jimbo Fisher $75 million. And so I'm just being honest. And nor do I think people in Louisiana are going to want to fire Brian Kelly. Like, Brian Kelly is a really good coach. I understand he rubs people the wrong way. Like, he's got a little edge to him. He may not always say or do the right thing, but I think you have to give the man credit. Everywhere he's been, he's won. You know what he is? And I'll tell him this to his face. He's the ultimate CEO who runs Apple or runs Exxon, who may not know every employee's name. He may not know the inner workings of every department in the huge company.
Right.
But as far as the organization and the I's being dotted and the T's being crossed, and you got a great leadership at your company, you're going to have that with him. And so now what it comes down to is you have to have really good assistants, the people, your VPs and your CPs. And I think we have that at LSU. So, yeah, we all have to know our weaknesses. And I think BK understands what his are. And I also think he understands what his strengths are. And when you go from Ed Ogeron, who was, picking up, women at the gas station his last year there, like we couldn't do that. Like, you can't have your coach hitting on women at the gas station. I think we had to transfer to or transition to a more business-like approach. And I think that's why BK got the job. And I think on top of that, he's won everywhere he's been, from Cincinnati to Notre Dame and now to LSU.
Booger, in today's college football, I can envision a scenario where Brian Kelly realizes his weaknesses and is the CEO of a major college program because he's a great recruiter, perhaps not the best game day coach. Is that fair?
See, it's hard to knock him from a game day standpoint because his teams are prepared. There was the field goal issue in his first year in the Superdome against Florida State. He's been pretty good, man. Like when you talk to, I talked to Golick Jr. about him when he first got the job because he was at Notre Dame. And of course there was a little anger because how he left Notre Dame. But I think in the end, people respected what he did. And he just rubs people the wrong way, man. Like, he's not the most, I'm telling you what he's like. And this may be a fair comparison that you will understand. He's like Amin El-Hassan, like really good at his job, but he's not for everybody. If you know what I mean, like he's just like, he's not for everybody whatsoever. But if you get to know him, he's really good at what he does. Yeah. But if you don't know him, you're like, man, who's this prick?
It's a totally fair comparison. It is. I think Amin would agree with you. I mean,
exactly.
Go ahead, Mikey.
You mentioned dotting the I, so let's go to Texas, Ohio State. What do you see in that game?
Wow, another transition. Jesus, the two of you.
We're on it today. We are on it today.
Yeah.
Well, I think everybody's going to focus on the quarterback. Arch Manning, first game. Can he live up to as much hype as he's gotten? Probably not, but he doesn't have to. Like, he's just got to come out, and because his name is Arch Manning, if he throws a swing route to the running back and he goes for 25, and his stat line says 1 for 1 for 25 yards, we're probably going to cut in SportsCenter and be like, Arch is hot. So, like, it's amazing what's going to happen. He's going to be fine. I'm more interested in Ohio State and their quarterback, Julian Sam. And I say that because they got the best player in the country in Jeremiah Smith. I think he's the best player of any position in the country, and he's a wide receiver. And as Giselle once said, Tom can't throw it and catch it. Well, guess what? Jeremiah can't throw it and catch it also. And so he's got to get somebody to get him the football. And you get this new quarterback who transferred from Alabama, who left when Nick Saban left, who's now at Ohio State. He comes from California, and his job is to get the ball to 4. And I'm just interested to see how he does it and how consistently he can do it. Ohio State's talented. These two teams are talented. I think Ryan Day is going to feel like, tell you what he's going to feel like. He's going to feel like, if you could imagine what Michael Jordan was like when he finally won the championship, how he walked in the arena. They said he couldn't do it for years. He scored 63 on the Celtics, couldn't win. And then he finally won one. He cried on the floor forever. Yes. And he walked in the arena with a different swagger. Yes. I think Ryan Day is going to walk in the arena with a different swagger. Like, he finally won a national championship, and he's going to be like, hey, I got some big stones now. Like, he's going to be like, hey, I'm the big guy. I'm the BMOC, and I can't wait to see how he coaches now against Sarkisian. And he's won a championship. I think it's going to free him up. With that being said, I'm picking Texas in this game. I think Texas on the road. I think their level of play calling and skill will be a little bit too much for Ohio State. And as much as I think Arch hasn't done anything to meet the hype yet, I think he's going to play better than Saying. I think Saying throws a pick at some point during the game. I think Texas wins in the shoe.
Booger,
he still has to beat Michigan, though, right? I mean, he has to do that, Booger.
No question, which is the dumbest thing ever. The man won a national championship, but there are some Ohio State fans who said to me they trade the Natty to beat Michigan, and he's 0 for against Michigan. I get it. He's 0 for. But at some point, you're right. I don't understand the level of rivalry with those two. Like, my biggest rival was probably, I don't know, Ole Miss, Alabama, Florida, whoever. Pick one in the SEC. There's still no rivalry that I would trade a victory against them over a national championship. But there are Ohio State people that legitimately want to give back the national championship to beat Michigan, and I just don't get it.
That's what college football is all about, Boog. I mean, it is. Yeah, unfortunately. You mentioned the Golics. I want to try the transition game. You mentioned the Golics. So Notre Dame, Miami.
Yes.
There we
yes.
go. There we go. Yeah.
What are your thoughts there, Booger? Chris Felica was on with us, and he said he would take a flyer on Carson Beck to win the Heisman Trophy.
And Booger, be careful with your answer because we will transition whatever your answer is to the next question.
Yeah, I truly understand that. Notre Dame breaking in a new quarterback, C.J. Carr, grandson of Lloyd Carr. How he didn't go to Michigan, I have no idea.
Crazy.
Even though Michigan has Bryce Underwood, who is probably the most handsomely paid kid in college, thanks to Larry Ellison and Dave Portnoy, but that's a different podcast. I think when you look at Notre Dame, they got the best backfield in America that's not in Happy Valley. I think when you look at Jeremiah Love, Jadarian Price, their ability to run the football, the Notre Dame offensive line is outstanding. I think, how does Miami hold up? For years, this was Catholics versus convicts. We've transitioned to that, from that to where we are now, which is Notre Dame is kind of the bully on the block.
Right.
Like, they run the football. They're going to be physical. Miami is the U back. Like, we've been saying that catchphrase for years. Well, Cristobal's job was to bring a physicality and a toughness back to the U. More importantly, Miami is known for swagger. And so I think Notre Dame is going to come into that stadium on Sunday night at 7:30, and they're going to test the manhood of Miami. They're going to run the football, man. They got a new quarterback. They're going to line up, and they are coming downhill at the Hurricanes. And can Miami's defense hold up? That'll be a key. On the flip side, like, you came and got Carson Beck. He went down. He was dating one of the Cavalier or Cavalier twins, whatever. Like what are the
Cavalier twins? Yes.
There you go. He was dating one of the Cavalier twins. Sounds like they're not dating anymore because of him seeing too many pretty women in Miami. All that being set aside, how's the elbow? Last time we saw him, he was walking up the field holding his elbow. And if you're Carson Beck and you are as advertised, there's a saying that goes, to whom much is given, much is expected. They gave him a lot of money, whatever the number was. They gave him a lot of money. And they're going to expect him to do what Cam Ward did in Miami, which is come in and be the leader and galvanize the team. I don't know if he's that guy. I need to see how Carson Beck, not only how he plays, but how he's being received with that team. What happens if he throws a pick early on? Are the guys going to be like patting him on the back? Or are they going to look at him like, man, you've been on South Beach too much? Like, I just want to see the dynamic, because we know what it was like with Cam Ward. Like, Cam Ward was the de facto leader of that team. Everybody loved Cam Ward. What's going to be the rapport with Carson Beck? I think that'll be something that I'll be paying attention to.
How do you imagine Bill Belichick in North Carolina? How do you imagine that working? Like, is it going to be a good thing? What do you think?
I think initially, I think it's going to be a good thing. The schedule is very favorable.
Yes. I had him undefeated. We did win-loss with him last week, Booger.
Yeah, that's probably a bit,
I know. Yeah,
aggressive.
but you know me. I get carried away with stuff, Booger.
There's no doubt you do. I think a bowl game this year is very attainable. I think they're going to do that. Bill's a good coach, and I think more than anything, like if you took the helmet away and the colors away, and just say, let's talk football. Like, Belichick can do that with anybody in college or pro. Now the key will be is, can he get his guys on the collegiate level to be as consistent as he did on the professional level? he's at a little bit of a disadvantage because you can only get who you can quote unquote recruit. Whereas in pro football, you just go pay for everybody, you get the best, and you threaten them with their livelihood, and there's so much more money. I think Bill's going to be okay because the college model has morphed into the NFL model.
Right.
And I think Bill's going to be fine. He's got Mike Lombardi as a GM. Mike's used to doing that. He's used to identifying talent. I think that the combination of Belichick and Lombardi is going to be successful in Chapel Hill. And let's face it, he ain't got to win the Natty. Like if Bill's 8-4 this year, 9-3, he could go 7-5. Then the next year he's 10-2. They're gonna put a statue up.
Right.
Like he ain't.
He does that. He'll be coaching the Jets in 2 years. I mean,
I don't know if he'll ever get back in there.
You're
But
right.
I mean, Bill's gonna realize you can be like with these things called bowl games. You can not win the championship, and you can just make the playoffs,
Yes.
and you're going to be good. Whereas
Yes.
in pro football, you can make the playoffs, and they'll still be like, okay, when you going to win the Super Bowl? So I think Bill's going to enjoy going to the Weed Eater Bowl and being, 9-4 after the bowl game, and then everybody's going to be like, hey, who, Mac Brown, who? I think that's what's going to happen.
I'm glad you mentioned the extended playoff because all it does for me is make a coach like James Franklin a good coach suddenly. Like now he can walk around and tell everyone, hey, I made the playoffs last year. Do it in a 14 playoff. How's that sound?
Yeah, but James has got to win though. Like if you remember,
no, I know, but he made the playoff last year.
Well, the playoffs is cool, but all those guys came back, so they basically followed the Ohio State model. All right, quarterback came back, running backs came back, defenders other than the kid that got drafted in the first round. Abdul Carter, other than Carter, he came like all those guys came back and they were looking to copy the Ohio State model. So he's got to win. Like he's got one of the two most talented teams in the country. Penn State, Clemson are here. Everybody else is right here. They're one of the two most talented teams in the country on paper. Now, can James Franklin coach that talent to win? As our old buddy Tom Jackson would say, Stugotz, and you'll like this one. Mm-hmm. If not now, when?
Right. Oh, I do love that. You're right.
It's so good. It's really simple.
Football is here.
If not now, when?
Oh my God. You know me so well, Booger.
No question. Like it's certain things you can say where it just reminds you of football.
Yes, and that's one of them, certainly. Booger McFarland with us. We'll get you out of here in just a second. Two-time Super Bowl champion, played for the Indianapolis Colts. Mikey has a question in just a second. But what'd you make of Daniel Jones being named the starting quarterback for your Indianapolis Colts, Booger McFarland?
It's an indictment on Anthony Richardson, and I think it also speaks to where he is in his development, which you kind of expected. He had 13 starts at Florida. He didn't play a lot. You knew he was going to have to play to get experience, but every time he played, he got hurt. And then I think the thing that is going to haunt him for the rest of his career. Imagine this, dude. Imagine being in the middle of a radio show or a podcast and you just tap out. Like, I don't know if anybody's ever tapped out before. Like, he just tapped out in the middle of a game at the quarterback position.
Right.
Imagine if you were the host of a nationally syndicated live radio show, and in the middle of a segment, you just, hey, guys, I'll be back. You just tapped out.
Right.
Like, it's never happened.
It never happens. Correct.
But he tapped out of a game as a quarterback. Imagine Brady tapping out, hey, Bill, I need a blow. Like, for what?
Right.
Like, you're the quarterback. Hand the ball off and keep going.
Right.
But he tapped out, and I think eventually that's gonna haunt him the rest of his career.
The only difference is when I'm hosting a show, there aren't 300-pound men like yourself trying to tackle me and kill me, you know?
Yeah, but it's one of those things that, like, when you're in the middle.
Otherwise, I tap the fuck out. I mean,
well, yes, I'm sure you probably would. It probably wouldn't have to be a 300-pound guy. If there was a lady that was aggressive, you'd probably tap out. So just he'll get a chance to play because I don't think any of us think Daniel Jones is going to make it 17 games unscathed. Like the guy fell down running for a touchdown and nobody was around him. So at some point, Daniel is going to. I hope he doesn't, but at some point, the likelihood of him getting a little bump or bruise is going to be there. And I think Anthony is just got to be ready. And so we'll see. But I think it's more telling on where Anthony Richardson is in his development than where Daniel Jones is.
All right, now let's get to the real stuff here because, Boog, I brought you up earlier today because Stugotz had the gall to say Peyton Manning Not a top 5 quarterback all time.
Not a top 7
6 quarterback all time.
Yeah.
Not a top 7 quarterback all time.
Okay, so if we're gonna do this game, then when people make statements, let's name them then, Stu. Like if you're gonna say he's not top 5, let's just use 5. If he's not top 5, give me your top 5.
Mahomes, Brady, Montana, Troy Aikman.
Okay, stop.
Okay, can I take Aikman back? I was doing fine on the first 3, right?
Do. And get nothing, no disrespect. I love Troy.
Right.
I love Troy, but Troy's not top 5 all time.
Okay, so can I start again here? Mahomes,
okay. Brady, Montana.
Was Marino in there?
Marino, wow, he was so. What if I give you this? Bradshaw?
Wait a second.
Bradshaw, the ultimate winner relative to what he did. I don't know. And when I say top 5, let me give you some parameters, or let me give you some, I guess, some criteria. Top 5 talent combined with how they played. I'm not talking about top 5 winningest core. Like this is not the Robert Ory then. I don't care how many rings you got.
Big shot, Bob.
Like this is, but you need rings. You also need playmaking. You need to have made some plays. Like Robert Ory has more rings, but he doesn't have the statistics to warrant being the greatest basketball player of all time. Like when we talk about quarterbacks, Mahomes, how many Super Bowls he's been to? 5, 1, 3. He's won the MVP. When you look at Montana's 4-0 in Super Bowls. You look at Tom Brady. Tom Brady's won 7 rings, maybe the greatest quarterback of all time. So those 3 not only have the winning, but they also have the playing criteria. I can't put Aikman in that category. I can't put Bradshaw in that category.
All right, can you put Marino in that category, even without winning a ring?
No, I can't.
You can't, huh? So you have to win at least 1 ring, according to Booger, to be considered one of the all-time great quarterbacks, right?
I think you have to. I'm going to throw Elway in there.
So Elway for me is also a top 5. Marino was in my top 5, just so we're clear. But it goes against everything I've worked 20 years for with rings and talking about it and how important rings are. And I can't believe I'm putting Marino there. I got caught up in a pickle.
In the Booger McFarland record book, all right, if you're gonna be number 1 in my record book, hey, you need rings.
You have a personal record book as well? That's amazing.
I think we all have a personal record book. I mean, I love when you use your personal record book, especially against Kevin Durant. I like it. It's amazing how some championships you count and some you don't. It's amazing.
Yeah, well, thank you, Booger. Good, Stugotz, I can. I mean,
he was a lot more confident yesterday
Yes.
talking to me than he is today talking to you.
Well,
Boog.
but I
Just
don't want to tell him because I know he's going to
clear.
tear my head off, and I'm scared of Booger McFarland because he's a lot bigger than I am. He's a nice man. He's a gentle man. I love him to death. I'm going to the Ryder Cup with him. But what I'm afraid to tell him is I rank Eli ahead of Peyton. How about that? I mean,
Wow.
Oh, wow.
he beat Brady twice. I mean,
Yeah, he beat Brady twice. I don't know if Eli's going to get
Coughlin's defense beat Brady.
I mean, let's just be honest. Like, do we think he's going to get in the Hall of Fame? He didn't get this past year.
I think he'll get in only because of the last name and the fact that he beat Brady twice and did it in the biggest market in America. But I think your larger point is probably something that should be discussed. I'm not certain he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, well, I mean, if he gets in, he deserves it. I think that's what I'll look at. My top 5 would be. I'm going to use your 3. I'm going to use Mahomes, Brady, Montana, Elway, and I think Peyton Manning would have to be there.
Wow. Not
and
Aaron?
then if I'm going to go 6 is probably Aaron Rodgers. Then it's Bart Starr. Then it's probably Steve Young.
Little Johnny Unitas.
Yeah, Johnny U. And then probably Marino for me.
Some Staubach. I mean,
yeah, I mean, those. It's and I'll admit there's some bias in there just because I didn't grow up with those guys, and the only reason I know about Unitas is because playing for the Colts and understanding some of the history of it, I saw that. But yeah, I'm sure there's some bias in there.
All right, my top 30 all-time quarterbacks coming out tomorrow. We're doing it in tiers, by the way, and I'll go 30 to 25. I'm going to do this for real, just to piss off Booger McFarland. Mikey has one more. We'll let you out of here. We'll get you out of here, Booger. Go ahead.
Stu, I needed to tell you a story from back in my day working with Boog.
You produced his show, right? Yeah.
I produced his show with Peter Burns.
Yep.
And in one show, in 1 hour, Boog told me 2 things. He told me OJ was innocent and he ate his steaks well done.
No question.
and I have never been so offended in my life at hearing steaks well done.
Same.
Hey,
What?
listen,
I didn't even I forgot the first one.
OJ's still innocent. Now, that doesn't mean he doesn't know who did it, but I still think OJ's innocent.
Okay.
And here's the thing that people always tell me. Yeah, Boog, you're losing the flavor. Well, no, I put a little salt and pepper. My steak tastes just as good as yours. I just don't want to see any red or pink in there. And so I like my steaks well done. Now, I don't want them burnt. There's a difference between well done and burnt.
Right.
The right chef can cook a steak. There's no pink in the middle and it's not burnt. So people confuse well done with burnt. But I'll ask you this, Mikey, since you are so offended. If you went to a good burger spot, how are you getting your burger? Well, are you getting it medium rare?
Medium.
I'm getting my burger the same way as my steak, well done. It's the same cow, buddy. Like, I'm consistent.
But it's a different cut.
Yeah, but you need the juices.
Different
That's
cut.
what he's saying. A little juice.
The juices.
Yeah, I can get my juice with a piece of cheese on top of it and some bacon. Come on, man.
Steakhouse.
Like,
That's where he's going
all
the time.
that medium rare and medium well, and like knock the horns off and wipe his butt. Somebody told me one time, like, nah, that's not. Come on, buddy.
Walking through a warm kitchen. I've heard it all. But as we speak to you about football, because we don't know, I listen to chefs when they tell me what it's supposed to be, and they tell me it's supposed to be medium rare, Bug.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing I'll tell the chef, and here's why the chef is wrong. Because until the chef has to eat it, he can't tell me how to eat my food.
That's right.
Food is personal. It's just like my personal record book is for me. My food is personal. So how I want it,
You're so right.
and what goes in my record book and what goes on my plate belongs to me. I don't care if it's Chef Emerald. I don't care who it is. I don't care what chef is out there. He can't tell me how to eat my food.
That's right. Yes. Hey, chef, unless you're going to eat the thing that I asked for, go fuck yourself, okay?
Unless you're paying for it. Hey, last time I checked, that tomahawk was $85.
Yes.
You cook it exactly how I said it.
Yes. McFarland, that's why dad has no more money, okay? Leave him alone.
Exactly.
You have your own table at Burns, don't you?
Fun fact, I've been to Burns countless times, never had a steak there.
You've never had a steak?
Never had a steak at Burns.
So it's interesting. I go to the Palm restaurant all the time down here, and I tell these guys it's the best chicken parm I've ever had. I've never had a steak at the Palm.
I go to Burns, and I always get this dish called chicken burn. I never get a steak. Like I've had, like they'll bring a Caesar salad and make it right table side. The dessert room upstairs is like it's really it's a 2-hour show, but I've never had a steak there. Never.
All right. We want you around here more often if you don't mind, Booger. I miss you. Okay.
Anytime, man. Just hit me up. Let me know. Glad you're doing well, buddy. I've always listened to you. I think you have a gift for what you do. And I think two things you do that really resonate with a lot of people. Number one, you don't take yourself too seriously. And number two, you make people laugh. And I think those are two qualities, buddy, that go a long way in this industry. Regardless of what people say, don't change, be yourself. And just keep looking ahead, buddy.
I appreciate you, Booger. That's very nice of you to say, man. I'm getting emotional here. I am. I really am.
No, don't get emotional because I can clear it up because you're not going to the Ryder Cup. So let's end on a good note.
Okay. You can stay at my house, Booger.
Yeah, okay. So it's all good. I still may stay there, but you're still not going.
It'd be funny if he was staying at the same house with me and we took totally separate cars to go out to the Ryder Cup. Fucking don't want to be with me.
Yeah, exactly.
I love you, buddy. Thank you so much for doing this. Thank you for the kind words, and we will talk to you hopefully in a few weeks here. I was going to ask to make it weekly, but I don't want to push my luck. Okay, so we'll talk to you in a few weeks.
Weekly's a bit much. Let's go quarterly. Like the football season is like a football game is 4 quarters. Let's go every quarter.
So we just completed the first quarter. Perfect.
Exactly.
Okay.
There we go.
All right. We'll talk to you in Q2.
Later. Y'all have a good one.